Somewhere down the line last year, I decided to pick up coding again. And one of my goals for the new year was to build a lot more software products. Because if you're new here, Daniel, and I'm a product designer. I initially started something around 1st January this year, but I ended up switching ideas, which is fine because I'm still building. But the goal for the year is to build at least 5 software products throughout the year. And considering how AI and everything is right now, I think, yes, not that it's going to be easy, but it's a lot more doable than maybe 2 years ago. So the plan is to stick with it and not just say and not do it for the rest of the year, but also to document it for a whole bunch of different reasons. Yeah, this is like an intro vlog to me building my second. I actually have one that I've already built, but building my second product of the year. So if you're interested in seeing how this journey goes, interested in testing or using, or even just helping me think through some of the ideas for some of the things that I'd be working on, then follow along on the journey, I guess. Like you can subscribe, turn on push notifications, whatever you want to do. Today, I'd mainly be wrapping up some UI designs for one of the main flows in the app, and then I'd possibly start actually doing a build, like actually building out the screens that I've designed. Because previously, what I used to do is I try and get the entire UI ready for the entire app because I stopped programming for a while. So, like, I try and get the entire UI and all the flows ready so I can hand off to a developer. But now, since like I'm the one writing my own code, at least I'm engaged in the code writing. It's not like just me. Yeah, I decided to like change that flow so it's a lot, so we can move a lot faster. So once like I finish up a flow, then yeah, we move into like the development phase of that. Yeah, so I'll just be showing you guys all of that. So if you're ever interested in just seeing what it's like to build a software idea, you should definitely follow along. I was able to finish up the UI. I'll show you a little bit about that later in the video, but yeah, I decided let me just talk about the idea now so you actually know what I'm working on. So this is like my 1 minute elevator pitch. So ads are dead, at least in my opinion, because it's very annoying to see ads. Hardly do I click. What tends to happen or how I tend to find out about new music or new products I might want to try nowadays is more seeing it from other people. In this scenario, I guess other creators who are talking about a particular product or any idea that somebody might just be trying to market or put out there. So the platform or the product that I'm working on is a platform to centralize marketers linking up with creators. So you think about it as like a job board for creators. So instead of you trying to apply for a job with skills, you'd rather apply with your socials. So you come on the platform, it's called Simple, and put in the social accounts that you want to be like associated with your creator profile. So based off that, we'll be able to calculate a reach score and then match make you with people who are trying to set up campaigns. There's a lot of music going on nowadays, but the hard part about that is marketing your music. TikTok helped with that, but there's only so much an individual can do to like push their songs. So for example, with that use case, the idea is an independent artist, an indie artist, or an independent artist should be able to come on and say, yo, I want to run a campaign for an EP I'm about to roll out in, let's say, the next month. And I want to have about 3 posts made across 2 social platforms. And I need 2 influencers who might have a minimum of like 100K following. So that's like the parameters that like I'd have to set inside the system. And also say like, okay, I'm willing to spend X amount on each of these posts. And yeah, once you do that on the platform, we source influencers who like fit your criteria and give those to you as like recommendations. If the post isn't something that's available to like the general public, you have the ability to just look through a list of recommended creators and then let's select the ones that you want to invite to the campaign. So depending on who accepts like your invite, then you can start your campaign later and then track all the analytics and everything around that campaign in the app. So yeah, it might still sound a little bit abstract, but that's like the main idea. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to take it flow by flow, and the core idea of the entire app is being able to set up a campaign that creators can also join, or marketers can invite people to join. As at least I've been able to get to a good point, I guess, on the design phase. Yeah, so hopefully I can wrap up some code around the campaign creation flow, and then yeah, that'll set like the ball rolling. But yeah, I just let me just give you an idea of what I'm working on, and yeah, if you have any thoughts, you can leave them in the comments. Thanks. So I'm working on the UI for the front end for this flow. And I decided to be quote unquote lazy. I said, why not just try and use AI to try and just create the page and create the flows and everything. And I sat down for like 15 minutes, like putting down some long ass prompts so that the AI doesn't make any mistake. I'm pulling up the prompts so I show you. Give me a second. Okay. So I wrote this long ass prompt, like this whole prompt, and I gave it context, images, links to my Figma file. Like I literally broke down everything for like 10-15 minutes to try and get it to like replicate the UI as closely as possible. Hopefully I've shown the UI at this point. But yeah, let me show you what I came up with. I mean, somebody would say this looks good, but let me also open up the UI that I passed it. Give it these files. Like this is a page. I named them like failed, not failed. So like it has context on what each page should look like, what it should do. As you can see, this is like a page. This is the page layout structure, and the main thing that changes is like for each step, the form looks different. There are different components inside that. I passed it all the modal view, so you could also see like all the form elements and all of that. And then they gave me this, my design, and this. So yeah, this is great because like now I don't entirely need to start from scratch and try to like write the code for every single component or every single form field. But I guess this goes to show why I personally feel like AI hasn't gotten to the point where we can just say, oh, you pass it some UI and then it renders everything perfectly, and then you can just ship. Because yeah, I think when you start thinking about concepts like taste and having taste as a designer, or just making sure your product like shows that there's been some taste put into it, I think that's where like AI is lacking. So that's where it starts to be like, okay, once you get your UI, you still someone need like a front end developer to clean things up, and you still need somebody to make things consistent. Because now I'm gonna have to go through every single, well, not every single thing. I'm just gonna have to go through and update some of the components, update the main layout structure, and yeah, just try to make it look like the UI that I actually designed. But again, it's not to say that the AI is entirely bad. Like, it did a really good job of like setting up my routes, my pages, and putting the components. I told it to set up certain components and stuff also to like make things easier, and it did all of that right. But in relation to replicating like UI, like it didn't even get the colors right. So yeah, that's just like a little thing I wanted to show you. But I'm gonna get back into it and try and update all of the screens to look more like the UI, and then I'll get back to you and show you what I come up with.